We're back out here on the Jeep today. We left off last night with putting another coat on the door over there and putting a coat in the low spots over here. This still is going to need more work. We're just working on getting those low spots up to the correct level before we put our final coat on over here. But if you haven't been here before, we are Half Dozen Customs, and we have a few projects going on in the shop. We have this Jeep that we're working on. We've been working on this for last couple years. It was just supposed to be a paint job, and then it turned into a full restoration. The more we got into it, the worse it was turning out to be. It had several paint jobs on it and a lot of filler, and it looked a lot better than it actually was. So it just kind of snowballed as we got into it. We also have a Monte Carlo that we're working on. Those videos get released on Mondays. That is Colleen's car, my significant other. That's her very first car she ever had. So we're working on getting that one back together. And there's also a mini truck in the back corner, which by the time you guys see this video, we may have videos out on that. There are videos being recorded of it. We just haven't put them out on YouTube yet. Between the two vehicles that we work on every week and the projects that we do, it's hard to get all those videos out and put together. So when the Jeep is done, we'll probably start releasing the mini truck videos. But yeah, thanks for joining us. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. Let's get to sanding and see if we can get another coat on over here. And then we'll jump over to that door. Bye. Still got some low spots, which is fine. It's to be expected. There was a lot of work that went on this side, but I'll mix some up real quick. We'll just coat these couple of low spots, and we'll jump over to that door. Got a little bit left over here. I'm gonna go spread it on the little corner down here on that side before this starts to harden up on me.
get this all sanded down. Still some low spots. There's a small one here. We still have this area right here that's low. We got a little bit down in here where the damage area is. And then, unfortunately, where these 3 lines are up top and these 3 lines down here at the bottom, both sides, I think we're gonna have to swipe, and then we're gonna have to use our fingers to kind of smooth out this way just a little bit on both sides down here and up at the top. And then you guys were pointing up, I don't know if you've seen that this area right in here needs a little bit more work. But the rest of it I think is looking really good. So I'm gonna shut you guys down here, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit of filler. I'm gonna swipe a couple of spots that excuse me. I'm gonna swipe a couple of spots that need it. You know, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Which isn't bad. And then I think it's lunchtime after that. It's getting close. And we'll be back afterwards to sand this down, sand that stuff down on the other side, and get a full coat over there. We also got this little spot right here. I've coated this a few times and I've sanded it, and each time it just doesn't come out right. So fingers crossed. We got these few spots here that need to be sanded down, and then hopefully once we get these sanded down, we'll be ready to start on the intersections. I'm gonna start with sanding this bead here, and fingers crossed we get it right this time. Coated that spot a few times and it hasn't turned out right yet, so fingers crossed this is it. Okay, well, you guys can kind of see what I got going on. Hopefully, you know, this is, you know, hopefully this and here will turn out okay. We got 3 spots like that. What's going on there is that from the bead roll itself, it's kind of dimpled in around that bead roll, and because, you know, we used filler along the edges to make sure that they were all smoothed out. Due to that dimple and that coat of filler, it left us with a ledge filler right there in front of those bead rolls. So earlier, I think I did it off of camera, but we came in here and we swiped our coats where we needed it. And, basically what I did was I came in and you can see I swiped with the spreader, and then I gooped up some filler on my finger and I swiped them in each one of those lines to try and build up to that little ledge that we were having. And the only thing that the only thing I could think of to try and get rid of that, other than just continue sanding until that ridge was gone, but it would have left us with it would have looked like a dent going around those 3 lines. So and we got 3 spots, so 2 at the front and the 1 at the rear that we got to do. And then I got these couple of spots right here that I'm gonna sand up. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that off camera. I know that when I start getting into this bodywork stage and all it is spread a coat, sand it down, spread a coat, sand it down, it makes for a boring video. So I think you're just gonna get little snippets here and there of what we're doing and what we got going on, so you guys can still follow along with what we're doing. But I'm not gonna make you guys watch 2 hours of filler work on just one door. So what I'll do is I'll check back in once we get this all sanded down and show you kind of like where we turned out at and what still needs to be swiped. Like I can see just a little bit, like right at the bottom of the edge, like there's this little gap in there that I can stick my fingernail in. So like I'm gonna have to re-swipe that. There should just be little nitpicks this time. And then hopefully we'll be able to, finger swipe, nitpick whatever we need to nitpick and get this center stuff coated. And then stick in Bondo finger up my nose. And then we're gonna jump over to the other side, which, we filled some low spots on the other side over there. So we'll jump back in at that. We'll get that sanded down. Hopefully at that point, that whole thing will be ready for a swipe over the whole side. And then we'll probably work, depending on what time it is, we'll probably work on DAing down that door and just getting it cleaned up and ready to start work on hopefully tomorrow. So, and it'll be the same story with that door. We'll start with the outskirts of everything and then finish off with the inserts. So, okay, we got everything sanded down. Everything looks really good. Couple of spots that we gotta, I think I'm just gonna swipe with my finger. Keep it thin. And I think that we're ready to coat the center sections here. So this is what we got. So I had showed you that there's just this little, like I can fit my fingernail in, and it's like the edge of the Bondo that just is right there. So we need to swipe that. And then there is a couple of pinholes right there. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but we need to swipe that. There's a little bit right on that edge there that technically I think primer would take care of it. So, but then, we're gonna coat these center pieces. So I'm gonna mix up some filler right now, and we will, like I said, mix up some filler. We'll coat these center pieces, the couple of spots that I don't like, and maybe we'll jump over and sand that other side, depending on what time it is. It's about 8:45 right now. It's getting cold out, starting to snow, which sucks because we've had some 60-degree days here the last couple days, and it's like springtime, and it's like, yay, open the door, let some sunshine in, and now all of a sudden it's like, close the door, the snow's blowing in. But anyways, let me mix up some filler and we'll be right back. So these center little sections we're about to coat now, I'm gonna try and pull it thin coat, and hopefully one coat. Hopefully one coat is all we need. We have, we went through and repaired everything that needed to be repaired prior to something in here that I don't like. I think we just need a little bit more to finish it. It's a shame I didn't make enough, but. Okay, so we got that coated. I think everything looks good. It's a shame I was just, hey, what are you guys doing? Okay, we got everything coated, looks good. It's a shame I ran a little short there at the end. You can kind of see the difference in the color a little bit, not a big deal. Swiped a couple of things that I felt needed to be swiped, and then I used the excess back here, but I think off camera I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sand down this lower section of the cab on that side, and get a coat put over there. You guys have watched me sand that down and coat that, a couple times already, so I'm not gonna make you watch it for a third or fourth time, whatever we're on. And after that, it'll probably be end of the night. Tomorrow we'll come out here, we will sand this stuff down that we got going on over here, and still fingers crossed that we were able to get all that in one coat. And then, you know, we'll sand down that cab corner over there, and hopefully that guy will be done and ready to go. And then we may veer off just a little bit. We'll decide this tomorrow, but maybe we'll get this upper cowl section here. Like, I'm not planning on doing any body work up here. I don't think there's anything wrong up here. We'll feel it and make sure, but we need to get that all cleaned up. But this top section here needs work. Like, just looking across it right now, I see dings and dents all the way across it. We also shaved the wipers. They used to be up here. There used to be wipers somewhere up here. I did such a good job shaving them, I don't even know where they were. You know, maybe get this cleaned up and get a coat on this. I think that this'll probably just be one coat up here. Only spot that I could see maybe being two coats would be along the top of this windshield area, because there's a bunch of pitting up there that we sandblasted and cleaned up. So maybe we'll work on getting this cleaned up, so that way, like, this door is done, and then we get this all done, it's done over onto the other side, and then we'll jump on that door, and we'll maybe, like, when we get that door cleaned up, we'll clean up the back as well, so that way what we can do is, you know, if I mix up some filler for that door and I'm done coating what I want to coat, and I have some left over, we have somewhere that we can go, you know, oh, there's a dent here, let's swipe that, or there's a dent here and swipe that. Kind of like, you know, how we've been doing with everything else, where I just take the leftovers and go swipe an area that needs it. So right now that sounds like a really good idea. I think that that's what we'll do. Saying it out loud sounded better than it did when I was thinking it, so I think that's the route we'll go. But yeah, so I'm gonna call this night a good night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Okay, I know I said goodbye, but we're back. Just thought I'd kind of do a walk around. So you guys seen where we left off with this. So some of this I may hit very lightly with the air file tomorrow when we sand it. But a lot of it's going to get done by hand, because you can't get into the nooks and crannies of this with the air file. So the center sections we may knock down with the air file, and then come in and finish it by hand. So 3 lines that I told you that I kind of did there, and I've been slowly hitting that back line there, which is looking pretty straight now. You know, we had it really close. And then we got this guy coated here, and hopefully that is the final coat on that. And then I spread my excess back here on this cab corner. So, and like I said, I think, you know, tomorrow we'll start working on getting this door cleaned up, and the back wall, and this front section here, we'll work on getting that cleaned up as well. So we'll have to we'll have to, I want to get the bodywork stuff done first that we've already got going, and then we'll jump over to you know, cleaning stuff up. So we'll probably, you know, if we get this front section cleaned up and we get that door cleaned up, and we get that back wall cleaned up, that'll probably be a day, you know, getting this stuff sanded and then getting that stuff cleaned up and ready to go. It'll probably be the end of the day by then. Maybe we can end the day with getting a coat up on that top of that cowl section there. But we'll see. You know, it'll give us something to kind of shoot for. Yeah, I think it's coming along nicely. I think, you know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, but, you know, I hopefully in the next couple weeks, like, I think majority of the body work will be done. I mean, we've been, you know, every couple of days we've been knocking stuff out. So as long as we keep going, you know, every couple of days, you know, we started that door yesterday and it's really close to being done. So, you know, within 24 hours, we finished up, you know, the front cab corner. We got hopefully a final coat on the other cab corner, and we almost got a door done. So hopefully, you know, by the end of next week, you know, the only thing that'll be left will hopefully maybe just be the back wall that we're working on, and, you know, a final coat on the roof. So, you know, it would be really cool to have, you know, we are ready for primer in the next couple of weeks. You know, once we get this thing primed, it is time to start painting. So, you know, I'm excited about that. Not that I'm making any promises, but there is a show coming up. I think it's the first week of June. We're in the first week of March now, so we got March, April, and May. We got 3 months to get this thing painted and to a show. So I'm not making any promises, but it's gonna be darn close. So you know, when I was younger, I did cars fast, and people would bring me, I always had work. People brought me cars, and I would get them done fast, and they look good. I was just, I you know, slept a few hours a night. I worked, you know, 20 hours a day. I partied during my work, and I just hammered through stuff. And there was days where, you know, people would bring me a car a week before a car show and be like, I want this thing done before the car show. And I would be staying up, you know, 2-3 days in a row, no sleep, working to get that car to the show. And I would get it to the show. And, you know, some of my friends from back then would you know, confirm that I would do that and then sleep all day at the show. I would miss the show because I was sleeping all day. I'd be at the show, sleeping next to the car, you know. So that was, you know, 25 years ago. I can't do that stuff anymore, but, you know, who knows? Maybe I got one more in me. Maybe I can, you know, pull it off and get this thing there. You know, we'll have to see how close it is when we're getting close to the show. If I gotta start pulling some all-nighters, you know, maybe bring the coffee pot in here, and you know, maybe bring a recliner in here and do a little hour power nap and get back to work, you know. We'll see. Anyways, see you guys later. Have a good night. I'm out.
Oop.